how big of a impact did that have? And, did you see that happen in real time in terms of schools being impacted from, a lot of money being taken out? Of course, a couple of teacher strikes happened, and, what was that like for you seeing that happen in real time?
Man, it's a huge difference. That was a cool thing about Maggie Daly. She believed in the arts, not just performing arts. She believed in visual arts and everything. So she kind of pushed the city officials to grow those programs and try to give those kids that outlet. And watching it in real time, man, it was crazy because, when I was coming up in the 90s in the band world, dude, you can always count on seeing a great band coming out of Dunbar, seeing a great band coming out of CVS, seeing good bands come out of Corliss and Julian and who am I missing? Tilden had a band, decent drumline at some point. Hyde Park at one point had a decent band and drumline. And then as that money, and even in that, like, she made it where these high schools could bring people in, because that's how I got started. And that's what made me kind of even more want to be a band director. Was after I graduated, there were band directors who would, allow me to come in and help their programs. So I was working with Morgan Park after I graduated from Morgan Park. I worked with them for a few years. I eventually ended up working with King for a few years. And that's because the program that Maggie Daly set up was able to pay us as college students to come back and work and help. Mm-hmm. So I was starting to learn more and more from these band directors. Mr. Washington, Mr. Mitchell. I started going back and working at King and Dunbar, and they paid us to do it, So, and then the kids would see us come back from college, especially the ones who went away to HBCUs. Man, we had like a dream team at King where he had about 8 of us working with him over the summer. And, it was guys from FAMU, guys from Jackson State, guys from Alabama A&M and all these different HBCUs, Howard and stuff like that. And we were able to go in and work with these kids. And now that they've kind of taken that away, the kids don't have anything to see, because up here in Chicago, we don't have a HBCU band to look at and see, right in front of us, as opposed to schools down in the South in Alabama and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So with them taking away the money and the allocations for that, now the kids are not seeing it, unless their band directors are showing them stuff in the band room and stuff. And then also with that funding, man, if I've talked to some CPS teachers recently, band directors, they struggle getting buses to go to events. They struggle getting instruments repaired. Some schools like Dunbar, man, once Mr. Mitchell left, instruments were gone, uniforms were gone, and uniforms, man, are like $400 a piece.
How does that happen? Is it a matter of just like wear and tear, or are people just taking them home? I feel like I know a couple people that was like, hey, I graduated, I'm gonna just take this on with me.
We'll take something with me.
Yeah. But that, it has long-term effects. If even just a few students do that out of every graduating class, you look up, you got 100 uniforms. Next year, you come in with 90. You know what I mean? I feel like that, and the same with some of these instruments as well.
Yeah, after Mr. Mitchell left, it was a little while before they got another band director. So the band room was like a free-for-all. And, people took instruments, people took uniforms, or in some cases, the maintenance in the building, the principals, we don't have a use for that no more, and stuff get tossed, and they don't even realize what they're tossing, how much money they're tossing.
Right.
So, once they started pulling those funds back, man, the CPS has had a struggle as far as the band world is concerned. And then not only that struggle with the money, it's also a struggle in CPS and in the suburbs with scheduling. So bands are starting to dwindle down, because when I was in high school, band was programmed into my schedule automatically. I had you know, and you had the option. You was in beginning band, intermediate, advanced band, percussion ensemble. You were in some kind of band class in the daytime. Well, now they focus so much, and it's not a bad thing, but I mean, you know, they focus on your ELA, your math, and they try to get those kids into some, I won't say remedial courses, but some courses to help them, you know, give some of that knowledge that they might have missed, especially now during this COVID, you know, after this COVID thing. It's hard to get a band class scheduled into kids, you know, into their schedule. So now you're losing kids. If you lose them in the daytime, you almost certainly not going to have them in the afternoon for after school practice.